Black lives matter. All lives matter. Masks infringe on my freedom. Everyone should be vaccinated and masked. We need more gun control. Second Amendment. Israel. Palestine. Us versus them. This versus that. I stand in the middle, a bridge of sorts. I was born brown out of the body of a white woman 50 years ago in 1971, St. Paul, Minnesota. I was sent immediately to the Children's Home Society, where I was adopted quickly by the Adamsons, a Scandinavian-American family from northern Minnesota, teachers. In 1976, my father took a teaching job at the American School of The Hague in the Netherlands. And I would attend school with very powerful people's children, ambassadors, United Nations lawyers, executives from Microsoft Europe, Shell, Conoco, 3M. I graduated second in my class from one of the best schools in the world and came to the United States for college. I attended Bryn Mawr, a small private women's college right outside of Philadelphia, got a degree in literatures of the African diaspora in English, French, and Spanish. And then I married my husband at Notre Dame University, where he was doing his master's degree in American government. And then he decided to go to Bible college, and so we moved to Columbus, Ohio. And right in the middle of his first year, he got a call from home. Hey, would you come be our youth pastor at the church of his youth? He would become the only black person on staff at a white evangelical church. I sit in the middle, a bridge of sorts. I am black and white. I'm a Jesus girl who has great friends who are Muslim and Baha'i and atheist and Jewish. I've lived in poverty and in wealth. I've lived in 2 countries and visited 13 others. I speak 4 languages. I've lived in 6 states and visited almost 40. I've lived and worked on the West Side and right here in Spokane. I'm a bridge of sorts. I decided in 2016 to run for statewide office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. I discovered during my campaign that we were just a little divided. As a state, as a nation, and I have a rule for myself that I've had for a long time. I don't allow myself to critique that which I'm not willing to be part of the solution. And so I made a decision. I want to be part of our healing. I spent hundreds of hours reading and writing, listening and watching, trying to find that one thing, the golden ticket to our healing. I want to share with you just 3 ideas that I came up with, that I read about, that I believe if we could make these 3 things habits in our world, we could change how we show up for one another, for us. I call these postures. Posture number 1, gratitude. You know, I've always thought gratitude was that thing that some people just did better than others naturally. But I learned from one of my great friends in education, gratitude is actually something we practice. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, the more you stretch it, the more it's stretchable. The more you make it a habit, the more it just becomes a natural response. But here is the best news about gratitude. Do you know that gratitude actually changes your brain chemistry? The dendrites in your brain will literally reform to create a positive neural network. How many of you would say right now, we need some more positive? Yeah. So, let's not just talk about gratitude, let's practice it tonight. I want you to picture in your mind something you're grateful for, something big or little. And on the count of 3, I want you to whisper that gratitude out into this space, whether you're watching online or you're right here in the Bing Center. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for sharing. Now, doing that tonight is really important, but making it habit is even more important. So I'm going to encourage you as you leave here tonight, if you're a parent, make it part of your bedtime routine. Practice gratitude around the dining room table. If you're a leader, a principal, an executive, a president, make gratitude part of your staff meetings. Take 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning of a staff meeting to whip around the circle. Maybe if there are too many of you, have people turn and talk and share their gratitude. It's not about the one time, it's about making it habit. Posture number 1, gratitude. Posture number 2 is something I call brave spaces. Now, I came to the US in 1989. How many of you remember when political correctness became a thing? It was just becoming a thing when I got here, and I grew up in Europe where people are just pretty direct with one another. And I want to offer after much thought that I think we have learned how to lie really well to one another. I told you I speak 4 languages. I also speak body language. There is nothing worse than watching the right words come out of someone's mouth and seeing in their eyes and their body they do not believe those words. And so I want to offer that we're not going to get to our healing by saying the right words. We're going to get to our healing by being brave and courageous. And so I want to ask you tonight, what will it take for you to be your best and most courageous self? Tell you what I'm committing to. In this brave space, I am committing every day to be vulnerable. I'm committing every day to share the stories and ideas that are really tough for me to share, often in spaces where people don't agree with them. I'm committing to embrace and push through discomfort. I'm committing to not receiving nor employing shame, blame, and guilt, because shame, blame, and guilt are not useful tools in our healing. In fact, they send us in the opposite direction. You know, taking a screenshot of that post and letting everybody know how awful that person is. Let's not do that. And on the other side of that, and this is something I actually got to practice today, when you mess up, apologize. I am sorry. Not, I'm sorry if my words offended you. Not, oh girl, you're just taking this too seriously. I am sorry. And then make a commitment to getting better and doing better and show grace for yourself and show that same grace for others when they make a mistake. And last element of brave space is, for me, the hardest one to employ right now. I'm committing to get curious about people who believe and act and vote in ways that are completely opposite for me. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe they posted that thing. Instead, I wonder what got them to that place. And when I have the opportunity, actually reaching out to that person and asking them, can you tell me a little bit more about how you came to have this position? And actually be curious. Gratitude. Brave spaces. Last one, and possibly the simplest and most impactful. We're going to actually practice this one. It's called grounding in. Now, there are many grounding in strategies, but we're going to use one that I use with 4-year-olds and 84-year-olds alike. It's really simple. You can do it anywhere. So if you have anything in your hands, put it down right now. Sit up as straight as you're physically able to, just to get your chest cavity open. Oh, I hear y'all are following directions. That feels good. That feels good to me. As a teacher, that feels really good. Get your feet as flat on the floor as you can. And I always like to imagine that our feet are connecting us, not only in this space, but even to all those people out there watching across the country. If you're able to close your eyes just to eliminate distractions. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, find a spot on the wall and just focus there. We're going to take 10 seconds to just focus all of our attention on the air in and out of our bodies. I want you to listen and feel just the air. As thoughts come into your head, cast them out and just focus on the air in and out of your body. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out. One last deep breath in. Blow it out. Open your eyes. How many of you would say, when you're tired or hungry or frustrated, you say dumb stuff? Imagine if next time you start feeling anxious, next time you've had a bad night's sleep, before you angry typed in response to that tweet or that Facebook post or that TikTok video, imagine if you just stopped and breathed for 10 seconds, or maybe 5 minutes. Maybe you need 5 minutes. You decide for you, okay? But imagine if every one of our politicians did that. Every one of our directors of organizations, every principal in a school, imagine if we were to do that. I'm going to close today with a little action, because I'm a teacher, and I love giving people physical actions. So I want everybody to put your hands out here like this in front of you. And I want you to do this with me. Let's call each other in and up into a better version of ourselves, not out and down into shame. Let's do that one more time. Let's call each other in and up into a better version of ourselves, not out and down into shame. I am a bridge of sorts, but so can you be. I dare you tonight to take on gratitude, brave spaces, and grounding in. Let's all commit to being bridges to heal us. Thank you.